Holy shit, better late than never, am I right? So much so we missed Thursday Night Football this week for week 9, am I right, people? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Lucas E. On Productions, a rare Sunday podcast, with your NFL 2025 Week 9 predictions on this podcast. I know it's Sunday, and I know there's already a Thursday Night Football team in Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins, where Ravens destroyed the Dolphins 28-6. So show you Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will probably be back soon. Wait and find out what that to say at least. The only game we're not be predicting is that game of Thursday Night Football between the Ravens and the Dolphins. So much so I think I'll be kind of biased to say at least that the Ravens are going to win that anyways. And they end up winning anyways to say at least. I'm not going to predict that at all. It's going to be kind of weird if you ask me. But if you want to get anything, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. Watching today's podcast, hit the like button today's. For predictions, hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell for our post notifications and miss an upload on YouTube. As always, leave a comment what you think of my NFL Week 9 predictions on this podcast. If I'm watching on the spot, we do the same thing when you think of my predictions here to say, at least leave a comment there. And also a 5-star would be nice as well. And I'm also battling a stomach bug, so if your boy has a little bit like stomach issues and you get my stomach yells at me, that's the reason, because I'm battling a fucking stomach bug. I know, I'm crazy, man. I'm recording a podcast on a Sunday with football. Not this summer, but at least 23 minutes before kickoff. Not only 23, it's 12:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the East Coast. Obviously, football games won't start until 1 p.m. today. So if your boy is a little bit like basically under the weather, because I am under the weather, obviously. So much so I love my podcast, so I'm excited to do predictions for today, to say at least. Well, so let's get on today's podcast, man. So the first game is San Francisco 49. I'm probably going to rapid fire speed today's predictions. Like I said, I'm under the weather. It might be like 10, 11, 12, 15 minutes long. It depends on how I feel about the say at least. Starting with your Sunday 1 p.m. game. So we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to New Jersey to take on the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. I got the 49ers defeating the Giants. And the 49ers improve to 6-3. And the Giants will fall 2-6. This should be a boring game. The Niners are always the 49ers for the most part, minus all their injuries have been happening to them. Also, you have Brock Purdy still, their top 3 wide receivers, and Brandon Ayuk. Minus Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall is out with injury as well. And I also believe somebody else, Fred Warner on defense, a big one there. So I think he got back George Kittle, but that is what it is to say at least. As for the Giants, they obviously lost last week, I think, against the Eagles. That's right. They got their asses kicked in Lincoln Financial Field. Eagles got revenge on Thursday Night Football game they lost in New Jersey. It could totally show upside day. But the 49ers defeating the Giants here, and it should be a boring game, like I said. I'm not. And by the way, this game is in my area because it's obviously New York Giants. And I live in New York, obviously, and technically play in New Jersey. But it is what it is. And plus on Fox, you got the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions, too. I know another boring game, too, to say at least. That's probably why I don't probably do a podcast, too. If I get to 1 p.m., I'm probably hey, it is what it is. As long as you just upload before one of the games goes finalized, to say at least. But anyways, with the Niners defeating the Giants, it might be a boring game, like I said. Also, for 1 p.m. games, the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans. I get the Chargers defeating the Titans, and the Chargers will improve to 6-3, just like the 49ers, and the Titans will fall to 1-8. Not great record at all if you're a Tennessee Titan fan. This should also be another boring game. A lot of CBS games, and minus the one we didn't get to in a minute, the big one obviously to discuss. Minus the big one, like I said, all the CBS games are fucking boring. And also you got the Colts and Steelers, also could be a good game. But other than that, that's about it. I don't know if on the top of my head, Texans and Broncos are on CBS or not. But a lot of 1 p.m. games in general just look so boring, honestly. Minus the Colts and Steelers, maybe even the Texans and Broncos, to say at least. But I got the Chargers defeating the Titans. It'll be another boring game, like I said. Moving on to Minnesota Vikings. We travel into Ford Field, taking on the Detroit Lions, the divisional rival in NFC North. I got the Minnesota Vikings, not the Minnesota Vikings. We take on the Detroit Lions. I got the Detroit Lions defeating the Vikings here, and the Lions will improve to 6-2. And the Vikings will fall 3-5. Although, I do kind of wish if we somehow, the Packers lose against the Panthers today, which obviously could be possible, it's in Lambeau Field. If that were to happen, I want the Vikings to really win, because I believe the Vikings win or lose, and when the Packers lose, then the Lions would take the reins in the NFC North. At like 6-2 record, the Packers be 5-2-1 to say the least. So if that's the case, I probably want a small dose to let the Vikings win, but then again, it's the Panthers. The Packers are facing. Watch that be not gonna be a clusterfuck game for me to say the least. Not gonna want though. Anyways, with the Detroit Lions defeating the Minnesota Vikings, the Lions will improve to 6-2, and the Vikings will fall to 3-5. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons, who travel into Gillette Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts, take on the New England Patriots. I got the Patriots defeating the Falcons, and the Patriots will improve to 7-2. And the Falcons will fall 3-5. I believe Michael Penix Jr. is starting for the Falcons here. Don't think it's Kirk Cousins, a washed-up Kirk Cousins. I believe that's the case, honestly. But anyways, this should be a very underrated game for the most part. I'm not saying I'm looking forward to this game. I don't think I'm going to watch it either. Not in my area, obviously. But it should be an underrated game to say at least. But not like a great game at all. You get to obviously that high-profile Patriots offense going against that amazing Falcons defense. So I ain't fine with that, though, to say at least. But I get the Patriots defeating the Falcons, and the Patriots improve at 7-2, and the Falcons will fall 3-5. Moving on to the number one team in the power rankings this week. Spoiler, if you want to watch that video, go check that out on YouTube and all audio platforms. The Indianapolis Colts will travel into Pittsburgh. I forgot their stadium name. I saw the Sunday Night Football. The Packers defeated the Steelers. I saw that one. I don't know what it is, though. I forgot, honestly. Indianapolis Colts traveling to Pittsburgh, taking the Pittsburgh Steelers led by Aaron Rodgers, and the defense is looking like an old, washed-up defense in Pittsburgh. And let's say Jalen Ramsey, who's older, and team with T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Darius Slay. I mean, damn, it's a lot. That was like back in, like, let's say, like 2021. That'd be elite defense. Not so much in 2025, though. We have the Colts defeating the Steelers, and the Colts will improve to 8-1. The Steelers will fall to 4-4. This should be one of the few games, like I said, at CBS, because one I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to have to watch this at all, because I don't get it in my area, boys and girls. It's kind of sad. I'd rather have this game than the fucking 49ers and Giants, obviously. But it is what it is. We have the Colts defeating the Steelers, and the Colts will improve to 8-1. The Steelers will fall to 4-4. Moving on to the Denver Broncos traveling to NRG Stadium to take on the Houston Texans. Believe it or not, this might be a upset pick here. At least a little bit. I know the Texans are just like basically a good team, honestly. I got the Texans defeated the Denver Broncos, and the Texans will improve to 4-4. And the Broncos will fall to 6-3. It might be an upset pick of the week. The reason why I say that is because obviously the Texans have a better, worse record than the Broncos, and they go to their home stadium. It's not like a college football upset, like let's just say like, I don't know, SMU defeat number 1 Alabama, right? That's not like that type of upset, but still. I believe that's like, for example, to say at least. But like if for recent days, Ohio State's number 1 in the AP top 25. They SMU defeat the Ohio State Buckeyes in their home stadium, be upset pick of the week, obviously. Something like that, you get the gist. But anyways, with the Houston Texans defeating the Denver Broncos, I just think the Texans will be on a little bit of fire losing streak here. After starting off very bad, honestly. Start off 0-4. Wait, I believe they started 0-4. Was it 0-3? That was 0-3. Then they lost in their game after they won their first one. Then they 1-4. Now they're 4. Potentially be 4-4 after this week. So we have the Texans defeating the Broncos here, and the Texans will improve to 4-4, and the Broncos will fall to 6-3. Moving on, Chicago Bears, who travel into Cincinnati. Forgot their home stadium, just like the Steelers. I got this take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I got the Bears defeating the Bengals, obviously, because obviously you got like the completed quarterbacks. Obviously, Joe Flacco's banged up, and obviously Joe Burrow's out for the rest of the year, almost to say at least. But say at least you got the Bears defeating the Bengals here, and although the Bears are without DeAndre Swift, which could be interesting though. We ain't finding with that though. So Caleb Williams can throw a ball like basically almost every possession, it feels like, or every play. We can electrify that to say at least. But the Chicago Bears defeating the Cincinnati Bengals. And you get the Bears improving to 5-3, and the Bengals fall into 3-5. Should be another boring game if you ask me. Moving on to my Green Bay Packers. So first we'll start with the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are traveling to Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Taking on the Green Bay Packers. Get the Packers defeating the Panthers. And the Packers will improve to 6-1-1. And the Panthers will fall 4-5. Obviously, the Panthers getting back Bryce Young for this game. Obviously, got Rico Dowdle and starting the run back for this week. That's the only person I'm scared of on the Panthers. Rico Dowdle. This man had two 200-yard rushing games. I'm like, oh my god. He almost had 300 yards combined with receptions too against the Cowboys, I think. Yards. He almost had 100 yards to the air and 200 yards to the ground. I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, that man was all hands on deck to get revenge on the Cowboys. Even before that, against the Dolphins. Unbelievable is Rico Dowdle this season. Not used to the MVP this year. Probably the best running back this year. Probably go to Jonathan Taylor, but still. Gotta give Rico Dowdle a shout out there to say at least. That's like the only guy I'm like scared of on the Panthers though offense. But although we have a stacked defense in Micah Parsons and the led Packers defense, so LaShawn Gary and guys like that, Lucas Van Ness this game I believe. Also receivers out to Jontavian Wicks too. It could be a decent sized loss, but even though we got Tristan Watson back anyway, so there you go. But the Packers defeat the Panthers here in Lambeau Field. The Packers improved to 6-1-1. The Panthers will fall to 4-5. Should be a boring game, but then again, I'm a Packers fan. I'm into this game too, because I'm a Packers fan to say the least. Going on to your Sunday 4 p.m. games to say the least. You got the New Orleans Saints traveling to SoFi Stadium, taking on Los Angeles Rams. I got the Rams defeating the Saints here. Obviously, the Rams are improved to 6-2, and the Saints will fall 1-8. Should be a punch and bag game for the Rams. Knock on wood. As the Saints are just they're awful. They are fucking off. They're horrendous. And now they're starting a second round pick in this draft, Tyler Shaw, quarterback this week. Didn't explain any more than that. Didn't think so. Anyways, we must explain about this game anymore. I got the Rams defeating the Saints here, and the Rams are improved to 6-2, and the Saints will fall 1-8. Moving on, Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Allegiant Stadium, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Jaguars defeating the Raiders, and the Jaguars will improve to 5-3, and the Raiders will fall 2-6. I believe the Jaguars on a 2-game losing streak here, so probably want to give some sort of revenge. Not that the Raiders beat them at all this week. It's not the case at all. Anyways, with the Jaguars defeating the Raiders, and the Jaguars have ended a 2-game little mini skid losing streak and beat the Raiders here, and the Jaguars improved to 5-3, and the Raiders will fall 2-6. Should be another boring game if you ask me. This is where obviously the game of the week is going to happen, boys and girls. The Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Highmark Stadium, taking the Buffalo Bills. I so badly want to pick the Chiefs, all because I want them to lose to the Bills in the playoffs. That's how bad I want to do it, but I just can't see the Bills losing 2 straight against the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs are always the Chiefs, obviously. I just hope the Chiefs do win. Not because I like the Chiefs. I can't stand Kansas City. Obviously, my 2 worst favorite teams here, them and the Cowboys. But I so badly want to see the Chiefs win. Also, to fail in the playoffs, hopefully, knock on wood. Not beat the Bills twice, obviously. And, maybe against here in Kansas City or Buffalo, so we ain't fine with that. Probably be in Buffalo because the Chiefs are our worst record right now. But then, I'll find out how the rest of the year plays out. But I got the Bills defeating the Chiefs here. I get the Bills improving to 6-2, and the Chiefs will fall 5-4. This could obviously be game of the week, obviously. Oh, at least going into it, obviously. Obviously, what happens after us, going into week 10, and Wayne's to be seeing what that happens. It could be on. It could be Seattle and Washington. I don't know. We ain't fine with that. Let's get into the next prediction here, obviously. But anyways, you got the Bills defeating the Chiefs, and the Bills will improve to 6-2, and the Chiefs will fall to 5-4. Moving on to 2 more games, and get on out of here, boys and girls. Sunday Night Football. You got the Seattle Seahawks challenging. I keep saying challenging. Traveling to Washington. I know our stadium is called, honestly, to take on the Washington Commanders. I'm sorry, Redskins. You know what I mean? I know. I don't care. I just do what I feel like saying to say at least. There's nothing bad. It really isn't, if you think about it, people. Whatever, though. Washington Commanders / Redskins. I just want to call them the fucking Redskins. I feel like to. Don't care about what Native Americans think about me. I don't care. I don't fucking care. You're not even in my freaking continent, to say the least. I don't care. We got the Seattle Seahawks defeating the Washington Redskins, and the Seahawks are improved to 6-2, and the Redskins will fall at 3-6. I believe Jaden Daniels is not playing this game. Is he playing this game? Let me look this up real quick. I'm straightening out my facts here before I predict this. If Jaden Daniels does play, I probably still pick Seattle. That's why I do pick Seattle. But I'm just curious here. Is Jaden Daniels Oh, my internet in my hotel is not working, so fuck that, I guess. Whatever, bro. But still, even if Jane Daniels is healthy or not, I'm still really semi-healthy. I'm out of the Seattle Seahawks defeating the Washington Redskins here. The Seahawks are a freaking team to be reckoning with. Especially with that god-awful Redskins/Commanders defense there, which is not good at all. You had no pass rush, no secondary. It's not going to go well for you guys if they want to make the playoffs or not. With that, got the Seattle Seahawks defeating the Washington Redskins, and the Seahawks improved at 6-2, and the Redskins will fall 3-6. That is Sunday football. And on to your final prediction here. It's Monday Night Football. You get the Arizona Cardinals taking on traveling to AT&T Stadium taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I got the Cowboys, sadly, beating the Cardinals. And the Cowboys will improve to 4-1, and the Cardinals will fall 2-6. Should be a boring Monday Night Football game, though. Although you got Dak Prescott look like an MVP can, I gotta give credit where credit is due to regular season. It always looks like that in regular season. Mostly chokes in the playoffs, obviously, it's a different story. But I got the Cowboys defeating the Cardinals here. You know, the Cowboys' defense is still putrid, but then again, you're facing Jacoby Brissett, not Kyler Murray. And very mid Cardinals offense, even with or without Kyler Murray. We got the Cowboys defeating the Cardinals, and the Cowboys will improve to 4-1, and the Cardinals will fall 2-6. Another boring Monday Night Football game. Go with my predictions again. I got the 49ers defeating the Giants for Sunday 1 p.m. games. I got the Chargers defeating the Titans. I got the Lions defeating the Vikings. I got the Patriots defeating the Falcons. I got the Colts defeating the Steelers. I got the Texans defeating the Broncos in your upset pick of the week. I got the Bears defeating the Bengals. I got the Packers defeating the Panthers. That's your 1 p.m. games. We have Sunday 4 p.m. games. I got the Rams defeating the Saints. I got the Jaguars defeating the Raiders. I got the Bills defeating the Chiefs. And I got the Seahawks defeating the Redskins, or Commanders, I name it. And Monday Night Football, I got the Cowboys defeating the Cardinals. Obviously, the Seattle and Washington is the Sunday Night Football. That is my 2025 NFL Week 9 predictions on this podcast. Let me know in the comment section below on YouTube and Spotify. Think of my predictions here, and also leave your predictions for Week 9 of Staley's in the comment section below on YouTube and Spotify of Staley's. Until next time, just for you next time, everybody. Peace and love, everybody. I am out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.